Alongside Austin Haynen, I'm Katie Wyndham here for Bama Central's Just a Minute. And Austin, Alabama's offensive line has been an issue for the team so far this year through the first four games. Gave up 5 sacks in back-to-back weeks, which is, you never want to do that. But against Texas, it's like, okay, that's a top five team. Against USF, that's not what you're looking for at all. Against Ole Miss, this past Saturday, it was looking like more of the same, 4 sacks in the first half. But then the offensive line kind of turned it around the second half, not just with pass protection, but also with run blocking. They were able to run better. They were able to protect Milroe better. Maybe he made some better decisions, got rid of the ball quicker, and didn't allow any sacks in the second half. So do you think that's something that this unit's going to be able to build upon, especially getting, more guys back and healthy? Do you think Alabama will give up less sacks this week at Mississippi State? First road game where they're going to have to communicate a little bit better in a loud environment.
Yeah, we were talking on Joe's Friday show last week about how important it was going to be, and how what we really expected the game plan was going to be on offense, and how they were going to shift the offensive line around. And we saw Elijah Pritchett for the first time, and Tyler Booker came back, obviously got SEC honors, so a big game for him. JC Latham, I think, played great on Saturday, especially in the second half. So the question for Alabama's offensive line right now is if they can kind of bottle what they did in the second half and kind of use it moving forward. And it's now more important than ever. You've got 2 road games in a row, both in the SEC against crowds that are going to be really hostile. So everything from false starts and penalties and holdings and everything like that's going to be important in a game like this on the road. And so not just that, but also not allowing sacks. So I think Mississippi State is improving on defense. Obviously, Zach Arnett's a defensive guy. And was the DC before taking over as head coach. He is an aggressive play caller. He likes to blitz. He likes, physicality on defense. And so I think Mississippi State's going to try to do what they can to get after the quarterback. Teams, as the year goes on, are going to have to kind of figure out how they want to defend Jalen Milroe. When, blitzing a quarterback that can run like he can, it's a little bit risky, but at the same time, I think teams want to try to prove to him that we're going to make you throw the ball and not let you sit back there and make the decisions that you want and make the easy reads, but kind of put you under some pressure and see if, maybe you'll turn the ball over like Texas did. So I think it's very important. I think that the offensive line, from a personnel stand-wise, should have some success against Mississippi State. I think they're a bigger, stronger, more talented group than probably that Mississippi State's defense is. And we talked about that on Tuesdays just a minute, that person for person, player for player, Alabama should win this game. Alabama should go on the road and have a good performance on both sides of the ball, but it's about doing it. And, you don't want to go too far with how well they played in the second half against Ole Miss and just assume that they're one of the best teams in the country again. So I look to see if they'll prove it again. I think that they can, but I am going to need to see it again, just like we did in the second half against the Rebels on Saturday.
Yeah, I think this Mississippi State game will be a good litmus test of where this offensive line is at. Have they actually kind of found the right formula? Have they found the right cohesion? Are they in sync with Jalen Milroe? Will the snaps be cleaned up? Will they be able to eliminate penalties on the road? All those type of things. And I do think, not that this is like a super high or low, depending how you look at the stat, or low bar to clear. But I do think they'll give up less than 4 sacks. You would. That's not a number you want to be. 4 or 5 sacks is not where you want to be. Having those big chunk negative plays, especially with a quarterback that can run like Jalen Milroe. And so I think we will see an improvement in that area. But of course, we will have to see. And Austin and I will, of course, be there in Starkville on Saturday, along with the rest of the Bama Central team, to bring you a bunch of coverage from Alabama's first road SEC game. But that'll wrap up today's Just a Minute. Thank you so much for watching.